Let's talk about guitars a second. I started off being a guitar player, and one of my original things that got me really interested in recording was the fact that I had a what did I have? I had a 59 Les Paul, and I had a 6800 watt Marshall double stack, and I was in the studio, and I didn't like any of the sounds that people were getting from my guitar, and I originally wanted to figure out how to get those sounds. Uh, and I did all the reading. But over the time, as I learned about that, I realized that just like the bass, if I take the DI of the guitar, no matter where I am or whatever happened, I can take that DI, and it is actually like the plinking performance of the guitar. And the guy has been listening to his amp, and he played it with the action from an amp. But I found that the sound of that guitar is the same whether it was in the amp or not. So I record the direct guitar, and you can do anything to it. You can put it through any amp and make it any sound. It's just the performance that the person did. So I take DIs always from guitars.
And do you compress it a little bit?
I do compress a little bit just so that I can get more a reasonable amount of level, because the guitar has a really serious attack that the guitar amplifiers don't even get. They don't even see it. They can't see it. It's too big and too fast.
So what do you use?
So I'll use like something that really a reasonably fast attack and get that plink off. I won't completely remove it, but I'll just lower it down a little bit so I can get more of the after note.
Like an 1176?
Yeah, 1176. Yeah, or I'll use a LA3A. I've done one of my favorite DIs is a 160X. Or an original 160, we're talking DBX here. Those are great for DI guitars. The whole idea is for a DI guitar, you just want a fast enough compressor to be able to handle it, but not eat the tops off it. And then you just like touch it so you're not just overloading in your Pro Tools or in your whatever you're recording to. And then that guy is, I mean, it's plinking like mad. If I ever was going, and I was going to say, if I was ever going to use the DI because that was the sound I wanted, then I'm going to whack it like mad and have control over that tick. But I'll be able to bring out the sustains later, and it's just a total clean guitar sound. We did a lot of DI stuff. When I was working at Sugar Hill, we would do these funk stuff. Yeah. And there was nothing better than this tick, and it would be just great fast attack and stuff, yeah. But by doing a DI, you can take your song that you thought was heavy metal, but it turned into something else, and you can not have to use those 4 Marshall stacks. You can take that guitar and send it to a little, old Fender Bassman, and all of a sudden you're doing a Steve Cropper kind of guitar sound with the same thing that used to be Led Zeppelin. So the DI is your friend. And the idea of the DI is this. The only way to make a DI work is it comes out of the guitar and it goes into the DI. Over and over again, I'll go back and the guitar player will come out of the guitar into the pedals and go to the DI. Or just one pedal and go to the DI. And the thing is, it has to be nothing. It's the DI. Then it comes out of there and goes to everything else. And in the end, it makes the guitar players happy because I'm not going to harass them about having 2 flangers and a delay and a wah-wah pedal going on while I'm tracking this song, because I got it without all that. So it makes everybody happier.
What do you think about pedal boards? Do you like to see somebody bring those things in?
Yeah. I think it's a great idea because they have all these options, but I will discuss with them what they have in mind for any individual song, and then I will try to make it so that that is wired in. And I'll also, like I said, I'll be sure that I have a DI. When a guy's doing a lot of pedal stuff, sometimes I'll prefer to have 2 amps, and I'll have the DI, and then I'll go to 1 amp without all the pedals, and then another amp with the pedals. Or if a guy's using like delays and simple things that I can recreate at the console, I'll say, let me hear what it sounds like, and then I will recreate that same thing, and then they can do it without it, and I'll send it back out to them. But like I said, again, with the DI, if it's too much work, just shutting this delay off, they turn this flange around. They go over here. When I got the DI, then I'm able to, and I get their performance, then I'm able to take that and redo it. And then, of course, I can have delays that split out instead of being in one place or something. But that isn't, sometimes those pedals and all that stuff, and it all being just one thing, just like when you got your guitar amp and you have the reverb on, and it's just the reverb on the amp, is more what you need or what you're looking for a song than having the guitar dry and sending it to a nice reverb. So this is, there's no hard fast rules. But the idea is you have to be honest with yourself. Say, okay, is that going to work like that? Because once you've recorded that guitar with the reverb all over it, that's the way that amp sounds. Of course, with the DI, you're saved.
So the DI is your secret weapon.
Well, it's great. I mean, and now that there's Amplitude and Amp Farm, I mean, so many, I mean, I can't remember in the past few years having a guitar amp that I didn't at least add a little bit of Amp Farm or Amplitude to like thicken it out or maybe spread it out in a mix.